What are types of sin that we're dealing with? I don't think there's enough pencil and paper or internet power that we could list them all. Sin is sin. We talked about FOD, of fur balls to metal shavings to eventually hard, heavy FOD of could be potential tools that will devastate, will crash an airplane. But see, that tool that might be back there by the back door that we're unwilling to dig and hurt ourselves to get to remove is no less or more important than that sin right here in the very beginning of those fur balls. See, it all starts, sin is sin. I heard Billy Graham say years ago, out of the 10 commandments, if you've broken one, you've broken them all. If you've broken one, you've broken them all. We were born with sin in our lives. What have we done at our age, at the teenager's age? You've got a lot of years left ahead of y'all guys. And there's going to be a lot of things thrown at you. New child coming. An angel. I look at the two youngins here. I look at these two beautiful ladies back here. I scratch my head. I can't believe that they are grown to this point in life already. We are constantly going to be attacked by it. We're constantly going to be affected by it. We're constantly going to have it available to us. We talked last week the devastation of sin. What can happen when we continue to sin and do not divert from it? Divert. If we're on that flight today, if we're going to Miami, if we're on our Graceway 1342 flight today and we're heading to the eastern gates, if you've ever had a chance, which I don't say this braggadociously, but I have had the chance of most of my life to be inside the cockpit of the flights that I've been involved with. It's a different aspect of watching and how things happen than sitting in a seat in the cabin. The communication, the radio work, everything that happens is absolutely unbelievable. I wish everybody could have the opportunity to experience that. It would open your eyes up in a different world of the world of aviation, of flight. But as we're flying at 39,000 feet, 40,000 feet, wherever the tower or ground or ATC has expected us to be on our destination, I'm not only communicating to ground and tower and ATC, I'm communicating through your aircraft, of American, through Delta, through Southwest, through Spirit, through JetBlue, through whoever. It's all going through our ears. I'm at 39,000, but you're at 38,000. Jan, your aircraft, as a captain of the aircraft, y'all might be at 36,000. That's the way they keep everything spaced. You just don't go up there and say, I'm going to go this way and I'm going to go that way and I'm going to fly here to get over to where I need to go. There is a roadmap. The great thing about communication is if I'm at 39,000 and Yuan back there is heading in the same destination, but he's a different airline, he might be a few hundred miles ahead of me, but he's at 39,000 also, but a couple hundred miles ahead of me. I'm listening to him because if he's ahead of me, he has given me pre-warning of turbulence. See, we spoke last week about turbulence, that you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't understand it. You do not see turbulence on the radar on your screens inside the cockpit. You cannot see it. You cannot sometimes see the sin that we are fighting right now within our own lives. Why? Because we might like it. If we like it, we avoid it, we become complacent. If I'm hearing radio communication from American Airlines and I'm flying for Delta as my son does, and he's saying, hey, we've got turbulence, hard, heavy turbulence at 39,000 feet at heading A, B, C, or D, whatever heading that may be. And all of a sudden I hear American Airlines to turn around and say they're going to deviate or call ATC and ask if they deviate down to 35 or move up to 41,000 to get out of the turbulence. I'm going to stay a step ahead of the game. Next thing you know, the radio communication starts going and going and going. The first airplane might have felt the turbulence, but next thing I know, the next 100 back there knows that we need to get ready to use the word deviate. I can't just pull back on the yoke and go do it myself, though. That causes massive disaster. We have to have clearance. All of a sudden, I hear Jan back there saying, hey, I'm at 36 or 36,000 and everything is smoothed out. You don't think every airline out there is going to try to sit there and settle back into 36,000 feet? So the tower at that point, or ATC, is going crazy. Please, please, can I deviate? Can I deviate? Can I deviate to 36,000 on that heading to get out of turbulence? We've all been on aircraft. As much as I love to fly, until you've been in some heavy, heavy turbulence, it's not that fun. It gets a little scary sometimes. It gets to a point where you want off of that airplane. It feels worse than it is, but sometimes it becomes very, very bad. So if we can deviate and make my passengers, the congregation, my family, God, happy, I'm going to try to deviate out of that turbulence and get smoothed out. Easier said than done. Sometimes the tower says, I have no room. ATC says no. So what do? You plead your case